What's up everyone, AJ on AJ's Heli Journey here. Hopefully you guys have been able to get some flying in recently and have enjoyed the start of this flying season. I unfortunately have not been able to, which is one of the reasons I haven't posted any new videos for a bit. It's been over a week, maybe almost a week and a half for me. So I'm glad to have been able to duck out today. If you'll probably be able to hear it in the audio, it's a little breezy today, but I didn't want to miss out on the chance, because I think it's actually going to be raining here in next couple days. So I didn't want to miss out on the chance to be able to get out and do some flying. So as you can see, I have the Goblin 380 here. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to or how much flying I'm going to do today, just because like I said, I was fully prepared for it to be a little breezy, but it is cooler also, and I wasn't quite prepared. I'm in sandals here and I got a little sweater on and it's a little chilly. So anyways, I thought, while I was out here, I'd continue to stay focused a little bit on that new flyer, new heli, RC heli enthusiast theme that I've been kind of doing, and talk about something that I thought might speak to them. So, and what that is something you guys may have heard before. I know I've seen a lot of posts on it in the past, and I actually came across a couple posts in some forums about recently, so I thought, what, why not do a little video, at least my take on it. And that's this whole concept of flying a certain number of mistakes high. So I know it's one thing to say, okay, you got to be, if you're trying something new, you should be 3 mistakes high. But if you were anything like me when I was new, I had no idea what that actually meant. I understood the concept that higher is better, but what exactly is a mistake high? So I'm going to try and give some context here in the video, and maybe just give people another reference to it. It's not obviously going to be entirely definitive, but it is what it is. Now, first thing I'll say is that I think the certain number of mistakes high will vary. How high that is varies from one size heli to the next. And, that kind of speaks to the last thing I kind of talked about, which was, the differences in different heli size. So it's going to be obviously higher for larger helis, because you need that additional space. Plus, if you're dealing with small helis, micros, and even this 380 size, if you get too high, it becomes really difficult to be able to see it. So anyways, let's give some context. First thing, you can see me hovering here. I've been just hovering here, and right now, as it is right now, that heli is about 6 feet off the ground. Okay, so it's about hover between 5 and 6 feet. Okay, so I'll take it up a bit, and this is, at least in my estimation, this is about 10 feet off the ground. Okay, so now you have a bit of a maybe a baseline when I talk about or show you what I consider to be a certain number of mistakes high. So when I started learning how to do inverted, I crashed my 3rd time doing it, and one of the guys at the heli field said, one of the reasons you crashed was you were only 1 mistake high. So I'll give you an idea of what 1 mistake high was for me. So this is about 1 mistake high. And when we another thing I'll kind of say with mistakes high, and I'm sorry I'm a little up and down here, but the gusts of wind are kind of making it a little difficult to keep it at the same one place. But this is about a mistake high. I'd say this is somewhere around 20 feet, maybe just over, not higher than 25 feet for this, and this is the 380, my 380. So but I was saying, with mistakes, essentially it gives you time to react. And when you're 1 mistake high, what you're saying is that, if I make a mistake, I have that much time to kind of respond before obviously the heli meets the earth. So for this size heli, I would say this is about 1 mistake high. Now, if I'm gonna go 2 mistakes high, move it out a little bit, but I would say right there would be about 2 mistakes high. And based on that 1 mistake, I'm gonna say that we're about, at the peak there is about 45, maybe about 45 feet high, right there, you know. That is usually around when, you know, if you watch any of my videos, when I try something new, that's normally around my comfort level. You know, I don't, and maybe that's because I really work hard on the sim before I try something new. I'm running out of battery here, so I'm gonna bring this down, and then after I'll show you what I consider to be 3 mistakes high. So I'm back here. This is the second flight, and I'm going to take this up, as I mentioned in the video early, the first flight. I'll take this up to 3 mistakes high. But before I do, something I've talked about too. So for me, I was also a little hesitant to kind of follow this rule of 3 mistakes high for a couple reasons. One, something I've talked about, I've always just been I felt very comfortable when with the heli, you know, closer to me, which, you know, if you think about it, really isn't that great of an idea. Just because I was comfortable with it doesn't make it a good idea, because, you know, one, you know, if something goes wrong and it's near you, obviously that could be a little dangerous. Two, if it's near you, I mean, it means it's probably near the ground too. So, you know, any mistake is going to almost certainly lead into a crash. And if I hadn't already said in this video, the whole purpose of going however many mistakes high is to give you time to be able to react and respond. And it really is, I can't tell you, not just mistakes high, how far out you're comfortable flying the heli. I mean, meaning away from you. As you can see, the heli's moving a little further away from me here. You know, right now, and normally I zoom in post-production on these videos. I think for this video, if you're watching it, I probably, you can see, I'm not going to zoom in, because I'm not really doing much with the heli. I'm just trying to kind of show perspective. I'm not going to zoom in so that you can see exactly what that distance is. And right now, where you see it ahead of me, I'm going to say it's about almost 30 feet in front of me. You know, and at 30 feet, where it's hovering right now is about, I'd say, between 8 and 10 feet off the ground. So we talked about 1 mistake high being about this high, which is about 20-25 feet, and then 2 mistakes high being up here, which I think I'm gonna guess is about 45, almost 50 feet high there where it was. Sorry, the wind kind of blew it back from here as I nose into the wind. And then 3 mistakes high, we're gonna take it up, and 3 mistakes high would be somewhere around here. Maybe even a little higher, right there. So that's about 70, you know, almost 80 feet high, I'd say, where it was. Sorry, wind's kind of playing with it up there, but that's what it was. If you got to see it, so there it is, about 80 feet high up there. And you know, I have some comfort now having it up there, but I gotta be honest, when I was new, I really didn't have that comfort level. So maybe something I can add to that. I think it worked out for me. It maybe works out for other people too. You know, when you're new and all you're doing is just trying to learn hovering and different orientations. Do I feel you need to have it 3 mistakes high? Probably not, because, you know, although things can go wrong, not much is going to go wrong when you're doing that. And even when you start doing things where you start doing a little bit of forward flight like this from one side, you know, to the next. You know, do you need to have it 3 mistakes high? No, I don't think so. But definitely when you start doing, you know, more aggressive maneuvers and any type of 3D, absolutely, height is your friend. It's going to give you the time and the confidence to try it. And you know, now as I think back, even as I'm talking, I think, you know, I got comfortable with the 3 mistakes high after I knew the basics, when I could fly, you know, these orientations, you know, side on, you know, side on both ways, and then nose in. Sorry, I was kind of, even then, you know, I wasn't focused on, was kind of starting to drift on me there. But once I got comfortable doing all those things, going 3 mistakes high was not nearly as scary. And maybe you'll find the same for yourself, you know. So if you're thinking, oh man, I'm just learning to hover, do I need to take it all the way up there? I don't think so. But if you start doing, you know, more aggressive forward flight, you know, even circuits and what have you, and like I said, definitely 3D, having it up 2, at minimum 2, but you know, 3 mistakes high, you're gonna appreciate that height if something, you know, goes a little bit wrong. So flight 3 here with the Goblin 380 today. This is going to be my last battery pack. It's the last one I had charged for this heli, but I also brought out the 500. I, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a little chilly here, so I did not come prepared. That's unfortunate, but we'll just kind of enjoy flying this last pack here. So as I'm talking about, you know, a number of mistakes high, I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. You know, share it in the comments. You know, was that important to you? Were you someone that you know, followed that advice, you know, to be 3 mistakes high or 2 mistakes high, or you know, were you someone that didn't, you know? And what are your thoughts on it? Maybe you have a different way that you know, that you learn things, or you know, something else you implemented. Let me know, because I think it's important. I think it was good, because you know, when I finally got comfortable doing it, flying, you know, a certain number of mistakes high, like I said, I think for me, my comfort zone really was between around 2 mistakes high, maybe a little higher. I don't think I ever really went fully to always doing the 3 mistakes high, but I know it definitely made a difference, and having that distance even far away. Because look, you know, I was mentioning that other video, if you saw, you know, I went nose in, and it was when I was right here, I was around right here, which is quite close to me, and I was showing that, you know, different orientations. And if I go nose in here, right, sorry, still, oh, I'm having a bit of a brain fart, but it was started with the wind playing with it. But this is what I'm saying, you know, you can get nervous with going nose in there, but when I get out here, and now, you know, if I turn this around, like, I'm not nearly as nervous. Look, it's pretty stable, wind's kind of blowing it a bit, but I have time to respond. If it starts coming at me, you know, if it starts going drifting to the right and left, it's kind of drifting away from me there, but that's not dangerous for me, right? So that is the benefit of having it, you know, that wasn't very high, but that was a distance away. When you have it up high, you know, you have time to respond, you have time to react. And I was just, you know, I was doing these circuits, and if you're doing circuits, you know, if you suddenly lose altitude, you know, if you're doing this, and you know, if you're like me, I had trouble when I first started doing circuits. I had trouble maintaining a certain altitude, and it would drop like that, right? I did that on purpose, but you know, when the wind gust came and what have you, but if you're that high, you're not worried. But if you're doing these circuits, as some of you have seen me do, you know, over here, you drop in altitude, that's about 10 feet off the ground. Man, you know, be hard pressed to be able to save it. So yeah, I definitely subscribe to and agree with recommending to people, listen, you know, be a certain amount of mistakes high. It'll be easier for you, it'll be easier on your heart, you know, when you're learning new things. And just something, you know, I think that that people should really get comfortable with. All right, we're not doing anything crazy today, just my hands are a little cold. A little gust of wind there. And let me know if you like, you know, some of these newbie tips I've been talking about. Because, you know, I really do enjoy helping other people, and I'm not assuming that my advice is necessarily helping others, but if it is, then I feel good about it.